Hey guys, welcome back to Hero Games, coming at you today with our first place build of the new Metal Empire, adding the Chaosdramon lineup and a few other clever tricks to the old Machinedramon deck introduced in EX. This is a really strong deck to play, and we've even taken some games off of Blue Hybrids, the deck that's supposed to be unbeatable for the black matchup. But I'll show you guys some tricks when dealing with those pesky little blue teddy bears. But anyways, let's get into it. So if you know where we're going with this, you know that we're running 4 copies of a blue egg, actually, the DemiVeemon from BT3. Now at this point you either know or you don't know what we're doing this for. It has the inheritable of when you attack with jamming, draw 1 card. Naturally we'll pair that up with 3 copies of the BT3 Veemon to go with this. Veemon has jamming, so he will not die to higher DP security checks. And when placed on top of our only blue egg here, he will draw a card on every attack, helping us get to our needed pieces in hand, as well as check early security. Our only other level 3, we are running 4 copies of Hagurumon. Hagurumon's on play effect, you may trash 1 Digimon card with Machine or Cyborg in its traits from your hand to draw 2 cards. So since we're running blue eggs on this, we'll never evolve Hagurumon, so he will always be the on play. Possibly trashing the other Hagurumons to get the draw effect here. The main thing we're running these lower level Digimon for is all about getting cards in hand. So whether we draw with the Veemon or we draw with the Hagurumon, we want as much as possible. To go with that Hagurumon, we're running our only level 4 in 4 copies of Guardromon. So assuming the Hagurumon survives being played, we evolve into Guardromon 4-2. This Digimon will have blocker, allowing us to counter some early rush strategies. And then as the inheritable, when attacking, you may trash 1 Digimon card with Machine or Cyborg in its traits from your hand to draw 2 cards. Again, assuming these Digimon survive, it just gives us more draw power. Moving into our level 5s, which I swear takes up half this deck, we are running 3 copies of MetalTyranomon from EX. When Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 level 6 Digimon card with Machine and its traits among them to your hand, trash the remaining cards. It's inheritable. On opponent's turn, while this Digimon has machines in its traits, it gains reboot. This pairs wonderfully with the other 3 drop. We're running 3 copies of Andromon. Andromon has the same when Digivolving effect of searching top 3 for a level 6 machine and the rest go to trash. And while this Digimon has machine in its traits, it gains blocker. Moving into our 2 copies, we're running 2 copies of MetalMamemon, still with the same when Digivolving effect of searching top deck for a level 6 machine, but it's inheritable. Is if this has machines in its traits, delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 5 or less when attacking. We're also running 2 copies of the new MetalGreymon from BT7. On play, if you have a Tamer in play, gain 2 memory. If you don't have a Tamer in play, you may play 1 red Tamer. We don't run any red Tamers in this, so we'll never get that secondary effect, but the 2 memory can be very crucial. It's inheritable. When 1 of your opponent's Digimon is deleted, gain 1 memory. Running 2 copies of the EX MetalGreymon. When this Digimon attacks a player, delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon with 4000 DP or less. Again, helping us get those early anti-rush strats. And then its inheritable gives our level 6's piercing. In our final 2 drop, we're running Megadramon from EX. On play, delete up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. This is our counter Boko Popper, as well as getting rid of the Chubons and the Betamons, the things that stop us from gaining memory. It's inheritable. We'll give our level 6's security tech +1. And for our 1 drops, we're running 1 copy of Gigadramon. This will just give our level 6's +2000 DP on our opponent's turn to increase their blocking. We're running 1 copy of Volcanomon. If our opponent has a unsuspended Digimon in play, this Digimon gains security tech +1. And then 1 copy of this BT6 Megadramon. This will give our Digimon +2000 DP on our turn, if we need to swing over a higher body. Moving into the stars of the show, we are running 4 copies of Machinedramon. This is our main level 6 in most scenarios. Machinedramon's on play effect, you take 5 Cyborg level 5 cards, either black or red, from your trash or hand and place them under this Digimon. They all have to be different set IDs. For each one you place under this, gain 1 memory. So this turns Machinedramon from a 12 play cost to a 7 play cost. On all turns, this Digimon's DP cannot be reduced, and all turns, if this Digimon would be deleted, you may discard 2 level 5 sources from underneath it to prevent its deletion. And we're going to buff that up with our new level 6 in BT7, running 3 copies of Chaosdramon. Chaosdramon is a level 6 that evolves for 4, or we can evolve on top of Machinedramon for 1. You may place 1 level 5 red or black Digimon from your hand or trash underneath this Digimon sources. When you do this, for every level 5 you have, delete 20 of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less. Is essentially a board wipe option for 1 cost memory. And we'll pair that up with our finisher of 2 copies of BT5 Omnimon, able to evolve on top of our red level 6 for a final blitz attack. For our Tamers, we're running 3 copies of Tai Kamiya. This is our memory corrector, ensuring we have enough memory to play Machinedramon, as well as giving him another plus 1000 DP, also to the Guardromon. We need just a little bit of a buffer blocker. Then we're running 2 copies of Analog Youth. Search top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card to hand, and trash the rest. The best thing we can hope for is that we hit a Veemon, or a Guardromon, or a level 6 Digimon, or even an Omnimon. Something that doesn't normally get added to hand with our search options. And then the other 2 will hopefully be level 5s going to trash. We want as many level 5s in trash for our Machinedramon plays as possible. And then if our level 5 or higher is deleted while it has sources, we can tap Analog to hatch an egg and gain a memory. We are running 3 copies of Ultimate Connection. Ultimate Connection, you may trash 1 level 5 Digimon card with Cyborg and its traits from your hand to gain 1 memory and draw 1 card. Sorry, gain 2 memory and draw 1 card. So this will offset the memory cost that is spent for its play, but it'll also gain 2 memory if they checked in security due to its main effect, which is the optimal play. Then we are running blue option cards. We are running Tidal Wave. This is the main reason why we're running blue eggs. Either hard played or checked in security, you may choose up to 2 Digimon from the Digivolution sources of a Digimon and play them as their own without paying their memory cost. And their on-play effects will activate. We'll offset this, of course, with a cheaper option in Kaiser Nail, giving us 4 opportunities to play Digimon from underneath. And then 1 copy of Ice Wall as our deterrent. All of your opponent's Digimon gain 1 attacking, lose 2 memory until the end of the next turn. And if checked in security, gain 2 memory. So let's talk strats. The best optimal early play, of course, is that we're able to get a Veemon early in so we can evolve on top of our babies. That will, of course, give us a draw for the evolve, and then on next turn we can move Veemon up and attack with jamming to draw another card. It is very unlikely Veemon will die unless he happens to hit a certain option card that would delete him, forcing our opponent to begin their attack early to remove him. Otherwise, he's just checking security for free, uninterrupted. This, of course, is paired wonderfully with, if we can also see Hagurumon, we can evolve the Veemon for free and then hard play Hagurumon to end our turn, trashing hopefully a level 5 Cyborg from our hand to draw 2 cards. Assuming Hagurumon survives, or if it's, we're on turn 2 and Hagurumon doesn't end the turn, we can then hopefully evolve into Hagurumon to Guardromon for 2, getting, of course, another draw power, and then having a blocker able to stop their attacks or even protect our own Veemon if we need to. As we get kind of later into the game there, we're hoping to evolve our Guardromon to a level 5 to get that maximum surge and trash effect. Whatever isn't a level 6 machine will get sent straight to the trash, which is, again, stuff we need. So we can either hard play the Machinedramon or even evolve onto him in some cases depending on the matchups. Of course, the best course of action is always hard playing the Machinedramon so we can put a bunch of sources. You ideally want to have blocker, reboot, and security tech +1. These are the main 3 you want to try to get under Machinedramon. And then the other 2 can just be depending on the flavor. Maybe you want to put in a MetalMamemon to delete a Boko next turn. Maybe you want to pair that MetalMamemon up with a MetalGreymon so you'll also gain a memory when doing so. Or maybe they're playing with bigger bodies and you need an extra plus 2,000 instead to be able to swing over them. And that 2,000 would go really great with the piercing effect instead of the MetalMamemon. So that way we can swing into the big body and still check our securities. There's a lot of interchangeability with the level 5s. Level 5s act as sort of a toolbox for the Machinedramon, depending on the matchups and what we have available in our trash. Machinedramon's own effect will guarantee his survival as well as being a blocker next turn. They will have to expend many resources to remove that Machinedramon. If we're needing to go for a board wipe or to add in another source to increase our checks, we can always evolve Machinedramon into Chaosdramon for 1. This will add in another source. We can add in another security tech +1 to just finish off that game and then board wipe our opponent, getting rid of those Bokomons, those low-level hybrids, the memory blockers, things like that are highly played this set. If you think about it, objectively speaking, you probably getting 2 checks with Machinedramon, evolve to Chaosdramon next turn for 1. He'll check 3 checks if we add in another source. That's typically all their security. Then we can finish off with Blitz for game with Omnimon. Typical strats against other hybrid decks. Red hybrid, we kind of just walk all over. especially if they're running the Ancient package. They're going to be swinging with that big boy Ancient package. We can block with Machinedramon. We don't even need to have higher DP. We can just remove 2 sources to prevent deletion. We'll lose their Digimon, forcing them to play the level 4 hybrid, which we can delete next turn with the Chaosdramon. So they don't get their big payoffs. They don't get to check a whole bunch of checks. Red is immediately slowed down by this deck. You can even do some strats where you can tap Analog and sacrifice one of your level 6 blockers to force to end turn, which I've done that before. Of course, once you have all these sources underneath your Machinedramon or your Chaosdramon, this is where you want to start playing your blue option cards. You play either the Kaisernail or the Tidal Wave, and this will allow you to play the Machinedramon from underneath the Chaosdramon, as well as this MetalGreymon if you have it. Machinedramon's effect will kick in, allowing him to place sources underneath him and gain up to 5 memory. Yeah, hopefully you have a Tamer, and MetalGreymon's effect will kick in, gain another 2 memory. That's a total of up to 7 memory gain, either beginning a plus off the Kaisernail for 1, or you can just equal out the Tidal Wave at 7. This works out even better if these cards are checked in your security while your opponent's swinging. It's a perfect opportunity to play that Machinedramon, gain 5 memory, almost always guaranteeing your opponent's turn is going to end. We run a lot of cards like that too. They hit Ice Wall, they hit Ultimate Connection as well to gain 2 memory, severely reducing their plays. There's a lot of option cards in here that gain memory or force your opponent to lose memory. Now the blue matchup, right? The blue matchup is arguably the most difficult matchup here. Now let me tell you the secret to defeating blue. This card, get rid of it. Don't play it. The Chaosdramon is 100% your go-to level 6 when playing its blue hybrid. Because he's level 6, we can Digivolve on top of our level 5s here. So, do your normal strats of getting the Veemon in, play your Hagurumons, have your blocker out for those early checks there. Blue's game is going to be severely dependent on seeing 2 Tamer cards, either Tommy or the Sora Joe. If you don't see either of them early game, you have a huge advantage of a lead. You want to start hard playing your level 5s. Preferably this Megadramon if possible, so you can counteract by popping their Bokos and their Betamons. Deleting those and then having a body on check. They can't remove its sources, doesn't have sources, and we don't really care about the sources. Next turn we can evolve into the Chaosdramon. Hopefully maybe put a MetalGreymon underneath it. That memory gain will help offset the 4 hair, making a 3 to evolve, possibly keeping it your turn. We'll again pop whatever they have on the field, and then we can start checking for 2 security. If they remove the sources, that's no big deal. We'll probably be removing our own sources with Tidal Wave and Kaisernail. The idea here with blue is don't worry too much about a stack. Start going wide. Start using your own hard play abilities and your option cards to start going wide with these bigger bodies. They're not going to be able to remove them unless they go into Megadramon, if they're running Megadramon, but Beowulfmon's effect will not be able to remove them due to the nature of them being level 5s. Beowulfmon will also likely die in any of his checks because almost all of our security is almost always going to be a 7k or higher Digimon. And if it's not, then they're hitting some of these cards that add memory, ending their turn quicker. I have taken out blue hybrid matchup playing this way, playing very carefully. It sounds counterproductive, hard play your 5s, but if you start going wide with your 5s and keep consistently deleting their board and their setup, they're not going to be able to do anything to you, and we'll have too much on the board for them to stun. They can only stun for however many cards that they have, and eventually they either just don't have a stun or they run out and our board's too wide of 2 big boys that do too much damage, and we can always finish it out with Omnimon Blitz. Hey, thanks for checking out my video. This is my Metal Empire BT7 update with the Chaosdramon, guaranteed to defeat blue hybrid or your money back now that you paid anything for this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment of what you guys are running for your machine build. Stay tuned for more Digimon content. I'll catch you guys next time.